All right. So, just so I can have it on my records and so I spell everything right, can you give me your full name and then spell it out for me?
Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna give you the full name, but I'm gonna give you because I got a lot of names. So it is Iya Iya, Awosade Awosade, Ajala Ajala.
Okay, awesome. And then what is your relationship to the store?
I am the owner, the founder, and the owner.
Awesome. So can you kind of give me like an introduction as to like how you got exposed into some spiritual practices?
Well, I've been exposed to so many over the years. I would say I grew up Christian, Jehovah Witness specifically, but that did not, I questioned so many things. And when I got of age, I was like, this is not for me. And I started seeking occult sciences, New Age things. I was always in a New Age section at Barnes and Noble, or something like that, Borders. And the things that I would see my aunt and my great grandmother and my mother and them do, I didn't think that it was connected to what we now call, well, publicly now call hoodoo. It was just something the family did, and we did in secret, So it wasn't a specific spiritual system because they were Christian, you know. But these are the things that they had practiced. My great grandmother had me picking dandelion weed, and she would cook and eat them. She would wash in them. I'm like, what? Why is she eating weeds? But like 30 years later, I get it. Not, like, oh, okay, this is why she was doing that. And she was a reader, but I didn't know that when I was little. I didn't find that out until I was an adult. They tell you bit by bit the little secrets and things and the nuances. And my aunt telling me never ever cut your hair on the full moon. You be bald headed forever. Just little, just like okay. So one time I went to go. I was studying when I left Christianity. I wasn't like practicing. I practiced as my parents made. So finding my way, I got into Islam. I started studying, not practicing really, but studying more science. Um, what else? And even then, it was just like, okay, what's this just isn't not it. I started going to someone to get tarot readings, and she made this comment that I would never forget. She said, "You look like Oshun," and I was like, "What's the Oshun?" And then that led me down the path. In 20 something years ago, we didn't have what we have now with all the social media. It was kind of it was a challenge for me to find that. So, but I found it, and I was like, "Oh my God, black guys that look like me!" So that took me down the path and learning more about African spirituality, but specifically Yoruba out of West Africa and Nigeria.
Okay. So can you kind of describe to me like the differences kind of between everything that you kind of practice? I know a lot of people might think like, hoodoo and voodoo are like, kind of two different things type of thing.
Yeah, it's a derivative.
Yeah.
The word is a derivative, leading all to the same path. So as a Orisha practitioner, devotee, that stems out of West Africa, Nigeria, specifically the Yoruba clan, and so many of enslaved Africans which were stolen and were brought over to the diasporas in both Americas, North and South America and the Caribbean. So the Yoruba that held it, the wisdom and knowledge and understanding of that brought it all over. So boom, we have that. So that's I practice that as well. And then I don't really put the label of hoodoo on myself, but umbrella, I want to say. Mama Zora Neale Hurston um, definitely made that word profound in her writings, and that was a little over 100 years ago. And which the word hoodoo, Hudu, was derived from West Africa as well. So, in her, well, let me fast forward. So, hoodoo is more of a collective of the diaspora. I want to say the stolen African ancestors um, from things from Africa and here on this land, whether it was herbs or cultural nuances and things to use to cope, use to survive, to be resilient, to fight, to protect, to heal. A pot of greens and pot liquor is hoodoo, you know. So it is the culture, your bloodline. It is the specifics of your bloodline. You know, though you're Latino or Hispanic, you do things different in your line than you would do in another family's line. So everybody, we kind of do things the same, but kind of do things different, you know. So I would classify myself as a conjure woman or root worker because I like working with herbs and roots and things of the earth. So animism, which is all of that, all of indigenous practice is classified under animism, you know, using bug parts, animal parts, bark, plants, all of that, and syncing it with divinity, with spirit, you know. So those are the differences, and those are the two main things that I practice. I am a goddess worshiper. I am big into worshiping and honoring the primordial divine mother. So the goddess everything. Goddess in all languages. Goddess. So that's pretty much it. Did I answer that?
You did. Yeah, you did. Switch out this cable because it doesn't want to work right now, though.
All right.
Yeah, label that water and put that up.
I sure will. Let me calm down.
Alright, let me just out. Ooh, rolling.
Let me know how y'all like that that favor.
Yeah, she dashed that.
You go in the meetings, so I'm like, yeah, dab that on there, get ahead, and yeah.
So I guess, what would you kind of say was the feeling that you got once you did like the research and kind of like made yourself more accustomed to learning like everything with the herbs and oils and just kind of understanding how this type of divinity and your ancestry kind of like collects to you?
Oh my God, it was like kind of euphoric, but excitement because I'm a herb nerd. I am a history nerd. I'm all of that. So every time I was like, oh my God, you know, and asking, and even as a woman, I'm in 49th year here on Earth, asking my family members the elder ones different questions, and then I'm like, wow. They used to do what? They used to do, and it's just like, why didn't I know this as a kid? You know, why didn't y'all tell me this as a child? So it just makes me very excited. It's almost euphoric, like I said. And till this day, I'm still, because learning is forever. I'm always learning something new, even about my family, even about my line, herbs, all of that, everything, oils, the combination, things that. You know, oh, I put this together, and the way it makes people feel, you know, so it makes me very excited. The create you know, and to create from what God made. You know what I'm saying? And to add your own energy into it, and calling on divinity and your ancestors to support you in that, and the healing aspect. Yeah, it makes me very excited. You know? Yeah.
Do you kind of, so, I guess my question is, especially because like, I'm sure it's kind of similar because like, my mom does a lot of like santeria and stuff from my grandpa's side.
Yeah.
But then
So
being
you know.
Cuban, yeah. So I guess what are some of the, why do you think some of like your family or like others, what are some of the negative like connotations that you think people who practice?
It's the devil. It's evil. It's not of God. So how is it that the plants are not of God? The oils that come from the seeds and the roots are not of God. The prayers are not of God. I'm not of God. You know, so it is. It's always constant negative every day, all day, from people who are brainwashed, who are not educated, who are definitely removed from the truth. That wasn't exposed. They don't know. They're not educated. You know. But I think that was part of the plan, anyway, from all of our indigenous people, brown people in the Americas, is to remove that from what they know. You know, and yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's constant negative talk. Fear. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
That's right quick.
Yeah, for sure.
Give us a hug. Oh, yes, it's so good to see you. Well, let me know, cause yeah, you traveling a lot. You a lot. Well, we gonna get together.
If I decide not to, I'll think about it. I was telling her, I was like, I just don't know if I want to go back to Nigeria. I don't feel like doing the airport and all the hustle.
Oh, the airport. I get past all that. Like, I'm so used to it for just forever now. I just be like, you know what I'm saying? I'm starting to say, you just know. You ask me something, I got a prayer for you. What prayer do you want? Which one do you want me to start? Oh, I know this one. So, you gotta know how to roll with it.
I mean, I do.
It is aggravating.
I was the only one that didn't pay nothing because the girl was like, so what is this? Are you going to dash me? I said, so you know what it is? She said, yeah. I said, so then why would you steal that from me? Go ahead, my sister. I was like, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying, yes.
I will let you know once I decide I'm going to eat your
Yeah. All right, ladies, thank you always. And let me know how it work out for you. All right, babe. Take care. Drive safely.
Will do.
I'm going to lock this door. It's after 5.
See, Mamacita? Where you want these things real quick?
What is that? Oh, those oils?
Yeah.
You can put them...
I cleaned up and everything. All right.
She like, I'm out this joint. You taking, but I guess you
Yeah, I'll take about home or whatever.
That's funny, but I already cleaned up.
I said, let me make everything that sparkles when you come up in here.
You can put them right here next to this macho.
Oh my God. That war water was no joke.
I told you. Wash your hands real good.
Yeah. And I had a
All right.
Okay.
So I guess once you started diving into more like holistic and like alternative practices, I guess what was the reaction from your family, considering that you were Jehovah's Witness? Were they kind of opposed to it, or did they like support it?
Well, the ones I would say on my father's side were definitely extremely not open. They definitely extremely not open. I mean, there's family members that haven't talked to me in years since I'm not baptized Jehovah's Witness, and that's fine. I was definitely the black sheep. I would say, and still am, and I don't, whatever. I don't like that label, but I definitely am the one that stand out. Oh, she do this, the whispers, My mother's side, I would say a couple of my aunts would give information bit by bit. Don't do this on the full moon. Tell me about the farmer's almanac and do this on the moon, the new moon, the full moon. You know, just different things they would tell me. But they were hard. They still were hardcore Christian. You know, and then my mother, she was against it for a long time. I mean, she hated, and then finally, it's like she got the aha moment, and just started supporting. You know, if this is making you a better person, because I was wild when I was young. When I was a teenager and in my 20s also, I was wild. So she started seeing me change for the better, and so she couldn't fight me against that. She couldn't say anything negative, because it was changing me for the better, my character, my mind, my body, you know. So I definitely, I still get a lot of pushback with family members. Definitely. Yeah, I will.
So, yeah. So I guess also kind of along with that, why do you think how do you think the journey kind of like affected you as a person? You said you were wild. How do you think it has kind of like calmed you and like tamed you in a way?
It saved my life, because in getting divinations readings, I would listen to the advice that was given from the divine. You know, warnings, don't do this. This will make your life better if you do this. If you just pause a minute, this will come. You know, it's like, oh, okay. A lot of patience. Oh my God. A lot of patience. A lot of faith. A lot of discipline with that. So it hasn't been an easy road, because there's been times that I had a house fire and lost everything and was homeless. 3 months later, I had everything back. I had an apartment, had clients, my back, because I also own a hair salon as well. I mean, everything came back plus more, you know. So it's just like, okay, why it got to be like that rough, you know? But it's like everything is gonna be fine. Just have faith. So it taught me a lot about focus and discipline. A lot of discipline, which is not easy for a lot of people, you know, but a lot of discipline. And it's always minute by minute, day by day, bit by bit, you know. Yeah.
Sweet. I guess, have you seen kind of people change their perspective of you, maybe a long time, like friends or anything beyond?
Oh yeah. People that I've known like 20 plus years, they just like, wow, you have really changed, and I'm proud of you. They have said wonderful, encouraging words and shouted me out in places that I wasn't even there, and they positive. I was like, wow, you saw my vision, you saw me, you saw what I was doing. Like, wow, you know. So that made me feel good, you know. That made me really feel good.
Good. I love that. I would say kind of like one of the other things that I would kind of ask is like, why did you were you a hairdresser still before you?
Oh yeah, I always been into hair, and I guess that's part of hoodoo also, because I didn't find out until later. My mother told me, I think a year ago, that my grandmother was the neighborhood hairdresser. I said, you never told me that. She did everybody hair? What? So yeah, I've been doing hair since I was 13. I've been a licensed cosmetologist for 27 years. So that's all I've known, you know, entrepreneurship in the hair industry, and with that, and you can ask all my hair clients, they always know I made some type of oil, perfume, money drawn, candle. So I was always selling something at the shop. You know, always some type of incense to clear out the negative. You know, there's always something in the shop that they can get. So it was always part of I never separated the two. It's just who I am. I am both, you know. Changing people's lives, whether it's in the beauty industry or in the spiritual sense, you know. Serving others, serving my community, you know. So
So I guess, would you say that serving people is something that we would consider like your calling?
Yeah, yeah, I would say that. I would say that that is also, that is my celestial divine love language is serving others, making sure others are good, you know, mind, body, and spirit. Somebody say something, I'm just here. You should try this, you know. So I would say so. Yeah.
So, kind of also in serving and in opening this shop, I guess, what are some of the goals that you have for this shop whenever you have a patron come in? Maybe they're brand new to like a spiritual thing. What's like some of the goals that you have for them?
To educate my people, especially my people, but the masses, everybody, but especially African American people about their ancestral rights, their their the power that they possess, bridging the gap between the diaspora and Africa, because I also go back and forth to Nigeria as well. But their spiritual reparations, like this is yours, go retrieve it. You know, it belongs to you by your birthright, and it's free. The knowledge is free. Get into it. You know, so educating people. So we have classes here all the time. Educating, and even if it's just one or two people that come in a class, I'm giving that information to somebody. Somebody's taking it back to their family, you know, and so that is just planting a seed to expand their mindset past fear, past the unknown, you know. So that's my purpose, because I just do all this in my home. I was like, this got to come out my house. This has got to come out my house. So, I had to get it out the house. So here we are, a storefront, and it's been good. I get a lot of curious people. Oh my God, what are the alligator feet for? Oh my God, what do you use that for? You know, and the bat got dried bat over there. You know, they're just like, what? And then I wanted to have an altar in this space also, because you see that in all the, you go in the Asian market, you go in Latino market, and you see the little shrine. I go to the restaurant down here, the taqueria, and they got the whole ancestor shrine while you eating. That's a beautiful thing. Wow. You know, so I'm like, this is what my deities look like. This is my ancestors, collective ancestors on the wall over here and behind the counter. Like, this is what our people look like also. So I want people to just see it in other traditions or other cultures. Like, this is, you too can do this publicly and be proud, you know. So yeah.
So I also, with like kind of along with like doing it publicly and then your family, why do you think people like it was so much of like a hidden practice, like?
Well, we had to back in the day. You know, we had to, or we were killed. Even in some countries, up until recent, if you did things publicly, you could be jailed. So that's why things were just so secret, because it could have cost you your life. You know, and so that is still practiced, because we had to hide things or synchronize things like Santeria, or 21 divisions, or I mean, there's so many, candomblé, like a lot of synchronism that's still practiced today. I mean, it was practicing synchronism for 500 years. You're not just gonna stop, you know. It became a whole new thing that was created, you know, with a whole new power. So why break something that works? So if people feel like they still need to practice and spirituality, a lot of spirituality and hoodoo, conjure work, root work, all of that, and even indigenous practices like Ifa and Orisha, it's still a lot of things practiced in secret. There's still a lot of things that is definitely hush hush and practiced in secret, just to keep its power, you know, because there are things that are powerful that are secret, you know, and so yes. But as far as practicing the religion itself, a lot of people still practice that what was passed down, and that was survival skills. It was that or be killed, you know.
No, that's perfect. So I guess you said you were kind of continuing to learn.
Yeah, oh yeah, always.
I guess what do you think is the importance of continuing to learn your craft or like expanding on it?
Because it's the knowledge is so wide on it. There is no way for one person to know it all in one lifetime. It's impossible because it's millions of herbs and trees and roots itself. That's just that aspect. How's somebody gonna know all of that? All of the herbs that's in South America, there's no way, you know. So that's why you always going to different conferences and you're exchanging at these conventions or circles, and you're exchanging with things that people you know, and then the other person don't know, and then they giving you something that you don't know, you know, and that's like forever. And that is like continuing education. There's no degree to say you've mastered this. A PhD, no, it's no way. The oils, the candles, the recipes alone in one family can have thousands of different recipes in just one family or one clan. Like my husband, he's Nigerian, and he's also a herbalist, a traditional herbalist. And every single time, and he's been learning since he was a baby, because his father was a traditional medicine man. And his father, every time he goes home to Nigeria, he goes and travels to learn and exchange. And that's all the time. He's picking up new medicine. It's no way. So if you don't learn, if you're not in constant practicing learning and reading, like it's going to die off. You're not going to be in the knowing, you know. It's just impossible. So you have to be proactively learning. It's vital to this. You can't sit still and stagnant, you know, or idle. You know, it's just, because it's sometimes you have the academia that say, oh, you got this, you know, you got the highest degree and that's it. You can't go on further. That's a lie. That's a whole lie. You know what I'm saying? This is forever learning. Like one of my elders, Araba Elabuiban, Ifayemi Elabuiban, he's in this, I think he's like 80 or almost 80. And he said, you'll learn forever till you die. So it's just no way. And if an elder says that, come on out. And you think they, you know, and he's like a walking library, like amazing. And you just learn forever.
Heck yeah. So along with it, and I really like the fact that you bring up a community, I guess one of the biggest things I would ask is like, what 3 words would you say describes like your spiritual journey and the spiritual journey that you would like others to somewhat like explore for themselves?
You said 1 word?
3 words.
3 words. Oh.
Or phrases.
3 phrases. One is definitely, I know everybody know this one, Sankofa. Meaning you can't go forward without going back. So it's to reach back. I mean, to learn your past is to know your future, you know. So that is very important. Second phrase, Suru Baba Niwa, meaning father is the patience is the father of good character, right? And so to remain patient in this journey, because it's not a rush, it's not a race, you know, and to cultivate and to continue to work on your character, because it's your character that will save you. You know, your character is up. People will call. Yeah, I definitely you know, cover her and whatever, because it's your character that'll save you. You know, so that one, and let me see. 2,